4, 3, 2, 1, launch.
Good evening, Waybackers. Thanks for joining us. My name is Adam Carter, and these are the Wayback Sessions. You know, as we move forward on our way back to sharing live music together, I've realized it takes a lot of effort and commitment to make all this happen. From the dedication that Kat and Brian put into the production side out in Studio B, all the way to the talent and drive that the musicians bring into the studio. This wouldn't happen without them after all. I do want to thank everybody who's been watching, donating, supporting to the channel, and I really want to thank the Sarah Robinson Band and Jaffe's Descent for helping us to get this all going over the past couple of weeks. Also, really cool, I found out that Phoenix's own KWSS 93.9 on the FM dial took notice of the show, and they've been helping to push this out as well. Thanks, Brian Banks. There is a donation link in the descriptions if you're so inclined. However, if you're enjoying the show, we ask that you please subscribe to the channel and, like the video. It's free after all. I'm really excited about tonight's band. And I know that I've said that a few times already, but the truth is that each band, each performer is unique, and they bring something special into the room. And tonight's performance is no different. What I understand, this is basically their live performance debut, more or less, and I think that's really special to get into this room. What I do know about this band is that there is a lot of insane talent coursing through their veins, and I'm expecting a pretty awesome show. Right, band?
Yeah!
So,
Mercy!
as always, please enjoy the show, join in the conversation, and, chat with us. We're going to be monitoring. If you have any questions, toss them out there. I am very pleased to introduce Cowboy. Let's hear some music.
Down on the corner, 11 p.m. I saw a man coming at me, rifle in his hand. He swore I was a sinner, trespasser on his land. Little did he know that I had a plan. See, this man didn't know me, but I knew him. He swore I was a sinner, for it was he who had sinned. With a cigarette on his lip and a rifle in his hand, he told me to beg for mercy, but I had a plan. See, this man didn't know me, but I knew him. He swore I was a sinner, for it was he who had sinned. Round here we keep our word, spoken promises, but he let my sister down, and there are consequences. Swore I was a sinner, swore I was a sinner, I was a sinner. He swore I was a sinner. I was a sinner. He swore I was a sinner. He swore I was a sinner, for it was he who had sinned. Gotta pretend I've been here before. I know how it ends. It ain't easy loving my kind of crazy. I know all my rambling can make a good man hate me, but before you go, just know this little thing, I will always love you. Thanks for everything. I wish I could have been better to you. I was sick back then, and I think that you knew. Should I say sorry? Pardon me. I wish I could fix this. Myself I need to defeat. I was so angry, and I push you away. But I like to be lonely. It's safer that way. Before you go, just know this little thing, I will always love you. Thanks for everything. I wish I could have been better to you. I was sick back then, and I think that you knew. am I kind of crazy? I know all my rambling can make a good man hate me. But before you go, just know this little thing. I will always love you. Thanks for everything. I wish I could have been better too. I was sick back then, and I think that you knew. What's up? Hey.
Wow, yes. Yes, nice job. So, we get to get into all of it now. Yeah, uh-oh is right. And you know what, everyone?
Buckle up.
You'll notice we've only got one mic out there, so I don't know how we're going to do this, but we'll just, we'll speak with Kennedy and we'll let her pass the mic around as need be. I kind of want to begin with a bit of your background and songwriting. Do I understand these are your songs so far, these couple?
Yeah. No, I've been writing since I was a child, and I grew up on music. I learned how to play piano in the church, and it's always been something that's, I don't know, been really near and dear to my heart. Growing up, my grandmother was fully paralyzed, and so I would write songs and music for her, and I would perform for her. And she was kind of like my first fan, so.
So you've been writing forever, doing your thing. So tell me, you're with an incredible group of musicians, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But how has your songwriting changed by bringing it to a band? I'm assuming that these were like solo pieces or things that you had written and you brought it to the band and everyone was like, hey now.
Yeah, no, so I would just write songs and, get some chords with them and write the lyrics and whatnot, and I eventually brought them to the boys, and we kind of threw them all together, and it's been a lot of fun ever since.
Real quick, the boys, like there's a whole gang of them.
We gotta gaggle.
Yeah, you do.
I count 5.
I do, and that's yeah. I count 5 as well. So, how did you hook up with them? When did you meet them? How long have you been a band?
Say it.
5 weeks.
A solid 3 months, I'd give it.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
No, 3 months, but not solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 weeks were all of this lineup.
With this weekend, with this lineup is 5. So this literally is the debut live performance of Cowboy in all of its glory and wisdom here. It's when we went back to when I started getting this all together, PC on bass, just an awesome human being and friend of mine. When I called him, I was like, hey man, I'm doing this thing, and he immediately latched on. As a matter of fact, he told me to shut up and just tell him, he said, just tell me what date to be there and we'll make it happen, Adam, come on. And it's grown to this, and he had this project with Kennedy, and it sounds great.
Thank you so much.
Really, yeah, the sound is awesome. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep hammering through questions later, but can we hear another tune, please?
Do another one?
Maybe. Whatever.
Yeah, maybe?
I guess.
I mean, you guess? You're in here, right?
We'll
You
get
know?
it.
Since we're here.
Dirt bike. Dirt bike? Yep.
Bye.
It's all right. I gave it away. It's all over now.
Okay.
Right?
Give me the chorus.
We're a new band.
Are you ready?
We allowed to curse.
Are you ready?
Up.
Well, I heard you sold your dirt bike last week for about $1,000. Now I'm wondering what she did to you, 'cause that don't sound like my man. Are you still chewing tobacco, or did she get you off that can? Well, I never thought I'd see the day you weren't no rambling man. Your favorite sport was bar fights and beers till 5 a.m. Swimming in the pool naked, acting like we were 10. Now I see you sipping white wine all over Instagram. And you sold your dirt bike last week for about $1,000. Are your fingernails still dirty, or did she make you clean them up? Now I'm sitting here wondering if you still have your pickup truck. Did you even bother to get your tags for that whitetail buck? And you've sold your dirt bike, sounds like you don't give a fuck. Your favorite sport was bar fights and beers till 5 a.m. Throwing me against the wall, kissing on my skin. Now I see you sipping white wine all over Instagram. And you sold your dirt bike last week for about $1,000.
Look, you guys. You know, all I have to say on that one is, you know, yeehaw. I mean, a giddy up and a yeehaw is, I think, where that, you know, lands. So, you know, the next thing I'm interested in finding out here is, you know, what with this diverse group of musicians you hear that, and if anybody hasn't picked up on it yet, we do happen to have a PC and Yod in the house that were from Sarah Robinson a few weeks ago. You know, killing it in a, you know, a different kind of buck style, you know, shooting bucks instead of, you know.
Whitetail.
Yeah, whitetail.
Whitetail.
Yeah, whitetail. Forgive me. You're right. Whitetail, not bucks. With so much musical diversity, I'm interested in what drove you to this genre, and, you know, who is your primary audience? You know, who are you looking to get at, and what do you want to get?
Well, definitely, I grew up on country music and a lot of Johnny Cash and Marty Robbins, and
I can tell.
Definitely, I remember being a kid, my mom playing Johnny Cash for me, and I love his style of music, and with like Marty doing the murder ballads. The first Sinner song was kind of like my first take at a murder ballad, and I think those are just the fun like storytelling aspect of it.
Yeah, I was going to
And with
bring that
songwriting,
up with the Marty Robbins and the storytelling. It's
yeah.
very, you know, it's coming across very strong. You know,
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what drew me in. Was the lyrical storytelling part of it.
That's yeah. You want to give Yod the mic real quick, and let's find out where his take is on this, because yeah, you can just lead it over, and yeah, you can be the MC
So-
out there, Kennedy. Yod, what's up?
So that's actually what drew me in, was her storytelling and the lyrics, right? So, and obviously I got a lap steel.
Yes, you
It's here
do.
on my lap. But like, I've never been in a situation where I could play country music with it, right? And I love Johnny Cash too. And my dad didn't raise me on it, but I found it myself. Right? So, you know, I'm basically just finding my country boner in this band.
Yeah, nice. You know what? Keep the mic for a second.
All right.
I want to go into a segment that seems to really be working, and it's near and dear to my heart. It's talking gear, and
Nerd.
yeah,
That's cool. I'm right there with you.
yeah, you are, man. You know, you started it off, and we had some viewers that had commented out, and when apparently during that first broadcast with Sarah Robinson, I wasn't really confident of who was really going to be interested in the gear aspect, and I just couldn't help myself. But so many things have come through where people were interested. Yod, you have the mic, and you've got a really special lap steel guitar. We were talking about it a few weeks ago, and now I'm going, hey, it's spotlighted tonight. Let's talk about it a little bit. Where'd you get it, and what do you know about it?
Well, a friend of mine's a luthier, and he helped me look it up. It's a mid-50s. Can't get any more specific than that, but it's a mid-50s Gibson lap steel. Probably like a student model, but you were talking about your grandma. I found this in my grandma's closet.
One of those stories.
Yeah, literally probably about 20 years ago, and she didn't even know it was there. My mom had left it, and I didn't. This is the closet I play in as a kid, and like drag out my grandpa's pictures and stuff, and ask her to tell me stories. We never noticed it until years later. My mom had already passed away, and I just saw this box in the corner, and I'm like, "What is this?" She's like, "I don't know. Your mom left it here." And her sweet Latvian accent. So I opened it up, and I swear it was like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction with the gold. It was like, as soon as I saw that, I'm just like, my eyes got wet.
So
I guess I got to learn to play lap steel now.
Yeah, do you think it was your grandfather's?
Oh, no.
No.
There's a interesting story. I know it was, I mean,
well,
I don't know if it's a family show, but
you've got the mic, and
this got traded for drugs. How my mom ended up with it, I don't know, but it used to belong to a studio musician in L.A., and he traded it to, I guess, my mom's boyfriend at the time for some drugs. And then she kept it when she moved out of his place, I'm sure, just out of spite.
Look, you know what?
And hid it in my grandma's closet, just for me.
Look, people, this is the type of stuff you cannot prepare for, and you cannot make up.
I swear.
I know you swear. I don't think you would lie to me, man. I really don't, especially about gear. Well, Yod,
no, not about
Yod,
gear.
Thank you very much for sharing that
You got
story
it.
with us.
It's definitely a one of a kind.
Yeah. Well, let's I know
Should we go
there's
around
I know
and-
there's no music. I'm not gonna no, we'll get to Pete later because he's got the cool shades on and he just looks like he's chilling and just waiting his turn. So let's play more music. I'm not even gonna pretend that we don't have more music to play. I'm just I'll do that later. So let's what's on tap next, guys? Come on, I need more music.
Get it.
Yeah.
OD?
Yeah. What do we got? All right, the band is setting up. The band is getting ready.
turn to other things, trying to make my daydreams real. But that don't take the place of a woman's face and her feet. But she treated me nice, and I'd like to find her again. But I OD'd in Denver, and I just can't remember her name. Well, I brought it on myself, and I guess that I shouldn't complain. Be damned if I'll ever do any more of that cocaine. But she made me higher than all of those expensive things. But I OD'd in Denver, and I just can't remember her name. Kinda overdid. Okay. Got it.
This is real. This is live. This is live. This is real. This is live. So you have a lot of these story songs, and I'm curious. Are you from Arizona?
Born and raised.
Born and raised. Where? Phoenix?
South Scottsdale.
Okay.
Southside.
Okay. Very cool. I'm an Arizona native as well.
Okay,
I go
nice.
back. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit older than you, a couple of years, but
Just a couple.
you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, there's, like I said in the beginning, there's a lot of talent in this band. And I would like to introduce to everybody Kennedy by name. And she's kind of, you know, I don't know. You guys are awesome, but she's like prettier than you.
Yeah.
A little bit.
She's the tallest one of the band.
Yeah, she is taller than all of you. Maybe Ryan back there is a
I
bit
don't
like,
know.
I don't know. With the hat, she definitely takes you.
Oh no, I give her a run for her money.
So you know what? I do want to go through real quick, and I'd like to introduce. You know, everybody knows Yod because we go way back on the show, and he's just
Whole 3 weeks.
yeah, a whole 3 weeks. He's like a guest star at this point.
And Diane King says happy early birthday to Yod.
Oh, you know what?
Cats.
Let's take 2 seconds. Let's take 2 seconds and let's pipe into Studio B. And I'm glad, Kat, that you broke in. So, do we have comments coming in from Studio B? Is it sounding good? We have a lot of, you know, Kennedy's killing it, so I'm sure the tips are flying into her
Stop
tip
it.
jar there. You know.
I haven't seen any tips yet, a lot to deal with, but we've got a lot of comments, a lot of great sound, howdies,
Okay.
hello, looks great, sounds great,
Giddy ups and
giddy ups,
things
and
like that.
yeehaws. Yep.
Yeehaws. Okay. Okay.
Pete's killing it.
Pete-
Paulette says.
Always.
Yes.
Pete is killing it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, so okay, so that good, Studio B? We're
It
good.
is,
We're
thanks.
good off there. Okay, thank you. You know what? So we hit up Yod. I want to let everyone know we've got Pete back on the beautiful Trini Lopez 335. We're going to talk about that later because I just might get to have a second gear segment on the show, and I'm just a sucker. I'm sorry, you know, whatever. It's like I'm here in front of the camera, so I get to do that. We've got Ryan back on the other lead guitar. Kennedy, of course, everybody knows her now. PC on bass. You know, I think he plays bass for 18,000 people, and he does it extraordinarily well, and we all love him. And, you know, Creamy Dave.
Creamy Dave.
Back on the drums, and it seems like you can do no wrong tonight. I mean,
Do my best.
dude, you like walked in hot off the presses, sat down, and was like, "Hey, let's do
Ready
it."
to go, man,
Don't
whenever.
help him. Don't.
Look, man, I don't condone that behavior. I don't condone it at all. And all I'm condoning is, you know, being, you know, slightly delayed, but I'm sure it wasn't his fault.
Never.
But anyway, we, you
According
know,
to Ryan,
that's.
it's always the drummer's fault.
It is a
always.
lot of the times it is the drummer's fault. And
right.
you know what?
Last
The next in line is the bass player.
Hi, Adam. I'm the bass player.
Okay, you know what? we will keep doing this,
Yeah.
like for a long time. But there's more music, and I'm interested. Do we have what's the next song? Anybody? Anybody?
It's gonna be a cover from Ryan Bingham called "The South Side of Heaven." When I die, Lord, I want you to put my soul up on the train. Won't you send it southbound? Give it a cool blues man. 'Cause I've been lost on the back road so many times, I've gone blind. Losing faith in my family about drove me out of my damn mind. But on the south side of heaven, won't you take me home? 'Cause I've been gone for so long, Lord, it's keeping me cold. I've been a desperado in West Texas for so long, Lord, I need a change. For 10 long years, this old place ain't seen a drop of rain. Now the wind blows every day, Lord, oh, like a desert snow. Like a lost bound train run on cocaine and out of control. But on the south side of heaven, won't you take me home? 'Cause I've been gone for so long, Lord, it's keeping me cold. Long down the Louisiana byway, lonesome highways roll on. Won't you take me where the poor man lives? It's where I call my home. Can't you see that I break? Nothing but a change in pace. Money can't buy my soul, 'cause it comes from a hard-earned place. But on the south side of heaven, won't you take me home? 'Cause I've been gone for so long, Lord, it's keeping me cold. But on the south side of heaven, won't you take me home? 'Cause I've been gone for so long, Lord, it's keeping me cold. Hell yeah.
Enjoy.
That slide guitar is dreamy. And
It makes me feel stoned.
Hell yeah.
Jim Bachman says, meet Gonzalez.
Ah, Jim Bachman. Jim, hey Jim. How's it going, man? You know what? Maybe you need to be on the show someday. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know, whatever. So, Kennedy, I have a question I've been dying to ask. And it might be a good one for everybody and always, but I'm dying to ask you this one question. Can you tell me something that you might have been listening to lately and or that's in your playlist that would totally, like, surprise me?
So I definitely like to listen to more of the like modern outlaw country artists. I have a lot of respect for them keeping the genre and the feel alive and, you know, contributing to what I like to think is the real country music. So
Yeah.
we got people like Coulter Wall from up in fucking Canada and Whiskey Myers. You got Ryan Bingham. You got Tyler Childers and Chillards and
But you're not going to surprise me with like some EDM artist or something like that?
oh, nothing too Young Gravy's pretty good.
Okay, okay.
Shout out. But no, I love all different kinds of music. But
There's
I
really
definitely
a guy named Young Gravy.
yeah, no,
There's a guy named Young.
Slays.
Come on, PC. Are you
yeah.
surprised? I
No.
mean, are you really surprised?
For a second, I was.
For a second.
no, yeah,
For a
I
second.
found him on
Gravy.
TikTok. Shout out to TikTok.
You know, while we're in the middle of the show, I want to see if we have something queued up because this actually segues pretty well. Kat, do you have a Stephen Meckel something you can jump to? Next week's artist, and this is all going to make sense here in just one moment, but next week's artist, performer, musician is going to be Stephen Meckel. And he is concert master, violinist, Phoenix Symphony, Santa Fe Opera. Look, I can go on, and I will next week, I promise. But he might be watching tonight. And I happen to personally know that he loves country music. And it might be at some point where he really might want to do some sort of country something or other. But if you guys are tuning in, make sure to come in next week because Stephen, we're going to do a whole piece. He's debuting a new composition, and it is really looking to be quite awesome. Anyway, let's, you know what? I'm just holding on to that gear question because now I have two. I know I'm a sucker for it, but you know, as we you know go through and progress, we're having fun. I hope. Is everyone having fun? You know, is it sound
The
good?
best. Thank you,
Everybody
Adam.
sounding good in your ears? Awesome, awesome. Okay, cool, cool. So I'm requesting yet another song. I want another song. Can I get one?
We've got one more for you.
You just have one more song? Okay. So you know what then?
Once you hit that gear question.
I'm going to. Is it possible that there's an encore after that? Wink, wink. Anybody chance? Maybe kind of.
Like I said, we're brand new
So,
band.
yeah, fair enough. So you know what? Let's kill a few things in front of that. Then.
Oh, can I just say that you could probably look forward to a record this year sometime?
No kidding.
That's what we're working.
Okay.
Next on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna record. We'll get a record, and you know.
We'll be back on your show.
I was going to say, perhaps we'll get Cowboy back in here to promote and debut that album and push it out there.
Absolutely.
Oh, that would be awesome. I would really like that. So, you know what? Let's, real quick, Kennedy, can you toss that mic over to Pete real fast? Pete, you're playing this Trinity Lopez 335. Yes. Yeah. Hi, Pete. Nice sunglasses, nice voice.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Eat that mic, brother. Tell me about that. When did you get it? How long you've been playing it? Is that your main axe?
My main axe is bass guitar. I usually play bass guitar in most of the bands I play in.
So does Jim
That's not a bass.
Yeah, so Jim Bachman commented on. I usually play with Jim Bachman in the Day Drinkers. And,
You used to?
I still do.
Get that mic up to your.
I still do.
There
So
we go.
better?
I still do. Okay,
So
that's
Jim,
good.
yeah. So Jim commented "Meet Gonzalez," so that's my nickname since Mexico. I introduced myself to someone and I said, "My name is Pete," and he goes, "Meat?"
Meat, and it stuck.
And we went, "Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
meat." So it stuck. So, I usually play with Jim Bachman, and I usually play bass. But I'm playing my Gibson Trini Lopez tonight, and
It's beautiful and
guitar.
it sounds great, man. I love a hollow body, and I'm a sucker for a 335. There's nothing like the warmth that really brings.
yeah. So get this: the guitar was a gift. My wife gifted it to me.
Yes.
I-
What was the occasion?
Well,
What did
we
you have to sign?
we were moving to Chicago. So like 4 years ago, my family moved out to Chicago, and we lived in Chicago, and I played a bunch of Irish music out there. And before we left, though, she threw a surprise going away party for me, and a bunch of friends showed up. None of you guys were there. And
Is this your first wife?
I love you, babe.
So do I, Trish.
So I was on stage playing with Mark Zubians and Corey Gloden, and a couple guys were hanging out on stage at Cactus Jack's, and I was on stage when the guitar was given to me.
No
so I picked
kidding.
it up, put it on, and played it like right then. It was so good.
Oh, geez. So presentation,
Mm.
you have the reason to get, wow. Then there is nothing like a gift, like an instrument.
Yeah.
That is, I mean,
And this
being-
thing is amazing. I mean,
It is. No, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because it really is cool.
yeah.
One last piece of gear that I do want to get in, and if you would hand that over to PC, because PC, you're playing a really interesting guitar, and we were talking about it earlier because I'm like, what is that?
Well, that was kind of the question when I saw it at the Guitar Center. I mentioned to you the acoustic room, and I've never seen a dobro bass or sound reflector bass, And I had the guy get the stick and bring it down, and it was a used guitar. It was very reasonably priced. I got the,
Like one of
it was
those ones where you,
$360.
where you
It's
just
like,
have to say yes, right? You
Yeah, like,
have to.
and I had him throw it in a case. So I didn't know what it was, and I used it to, when we write songs, we hang around the little island in the kitchen, like every typical 90s house has an island, but whatever. So I had it forever, didn't have a serial number, and I never found one. And a friend of ours, Billy Siegel from Fender, love you, Billy, from Fender. And so I was playing with this little kid named Jack Ripper. He was a little 10-year-old little shredder. And I just took him up to the Fender factory to get him sponsorship because he played Jackson, which Fender acquired.
Yep, yep.
So he nailed it right there. It was a no-brainer, So I brought it with me, and Billy's there, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Because nobody at the center could tell me. So some guy had called Fender factory in North Scottsdale, go Fender, and requested a short scale, which is a guitar scale bass. He ordered 2 of them, and he wanted it with a sound reflector with an active pickup in it, which is something that, like, people with some money can do. Call up the Fender freaking company and say, build me this, And so when I found it used, I was like, well, that's insane. So when I bought it, I didn't even know it had a pickup in it because it just sounded good playing. I saw the knobs, and I'm not that bright. So like, what the hell? So when I got it home, I plugged it in, and it was like, well, hopefully it sounds the way it sounds to you all out there, because it's super warm and super awesome, and it sounds like an upright, and playing a lot with Creamy through a bunch of bands, and doing things. that required like a sugar thief thing or an upright bass sound, I can fake it because I can't play upright for shit, but I can fake it, you know, on this bass. That and it's like Jason Messer, I think he coined the phrase "magic bass." It's the magic bass, and lend it to people to play on records with and do it, and we're stuff like we're doing with Kennedy. It's you know, Adam. There's certain instruments that lend themselves to the project. You know, like Yod on slide, hollow bodies. You know, Creamy on brushes, me on magic bass or whatever. You know, It obviously it sounds pretty. I think it sounds fucking good, you know. Oh, he's been rim shotting me for years.
No. You know? And we haven't gotten to Creamy because he's buried back there.
No doubt.
The Cream is killing it back there. Well, you know what, PC, it's an awesome bass, and I wanted to know about it, and I wanted to share it with everybody.
It too.
Yeah, okay.
Of course.
You know,
and you're gonna play Trinity Lopez too. You know, we're not gonna like stick with that.
Well, you know what? I want to one last lead in to the last song. Does this song have a cool story? Something about it that you know brings it alive, or is really representative that you wanna you'd like to share with us?
I wrote this song maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I bartended up at the Buffalo Chip, and I had a old what's up, come see me. and
That's gonna be difficult. Yeah.
I had this one of my older regulars. He's an old cowboy, and he came in one day and he was telling me about how he's never gonna find love, and how no woman wants to love a cattle rancher and a mountain man, and it kind of just pulled on my heartstrings, and I really felt for the guy because he was kind of upset, but I'm used to dealing with people telling me secrets and stuff.
I'm standing right here. I mean,
shit.
Well,
but, so it definitely inspired me to write this next song just for lonely cowboys, and it's almost like a song to my future husband. Ryan was telling me that's kind of cheesy, but it's all right.
That's okay. Yeah, go with it. Well, I can't wait to hear it.
Hey, Adam.
Sir.
Can you take the mic one more time?
Yeah, of course you can, man. It's game on.
I know this is a new show,
Yes.
but I would like to really quickly explain how this group of people came together.
Thank you.
Were you saving that
Yes.
for the end? Were you saving that?
Yep.
for
No.
something? All right, cool.
No. Take it now. Take it
Okay.
now.
I met Kennedy 6 years ago at Facao, a beautiful restaurant that we play music at. And we hit off a great friendship, and we've traveled and seen bands and had a good time. And one night she came over to the house, and we were playing guitars, and she started singing, and she had this great low, gravelly, give me some little backup. Yeah. She had this great low, gravelly voice, and I was like, Kennedy, one day we're going to start a band when you're ready. So a year or two later, she said, you know what, I think I want to do this. I'm ready. My confidence is up and this and that. I'm like, well, darling, I got peeps, So obviously, but the folks out there don't know. Yod and I have been a band, and we've admired each other's bands. When Pete was in Gonzales with his brothers and cousins, and Ryan from Dry River Yacht Club, Creamy from Every Cool Thing that I've played in several things with,
Yeah.
We're all big fans.
So Ryan and I live together, and of course we all rehearse together. And Pete's our brother, and we're like mid-COVID or whatever, So I basically said, well, do you guys want to kind of do this? And actually, literally, Pete maybe played this much country. I played this much country in fill-in bands as a bass player. And I'm not sure if Dave's been in a country, but he's got the hat.
He's got the hat. The right hat.
But when Kennedy showed us her songs, they're like super.
I'm proof.
Introverted and really cool songs with a cool, dark voice that is the only kind of country. We keep talking about Cash, and Johnny Cash to me technically isn't country. He's freaking Johnny Cash, and then you might have put him in that pile. But, and I'm sorry if I grabbed the mic. I just want to explain to you.
No.
So when we asked these guys to do it, and we've done, 6 or 8 rehearsals, maybe less than 10 or something.
And
it's a band. It found a band vibe.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it. And I know you know that big time. You're a band guy all the time. So we all believe in her, and this is really one of her first webcasts, and maybe her second or third show that we've done before. And she's kicking ass. She's ponying up like a big dog.
Killing it. And you know what? Like I said at the beginning, having a debut live performance is very exciting. And I think it's super important. It's not only established acts and not only people that are, continuing things on, but people that are just firing it up. And not that you guys are new to the music scene at all, but, brand new band. Yeah.
I've been bartending
brand new band
for years.
Well, you know what? Talk about donations. Yes. You know what? Hopefully that's come in. Kennedy has been. What? Oh, how do they do it? Jeez. Okay, sorry. You know what? I've got the camera on the bands. You know what? There is a link in the descriptions to make donations or tips to the band, to the studio, and in support of all things live music. We're just trying to keep that moving forward. This is important to the audience to participate, but it's in my opinion even more critical to have an outlet for the musicians so they have a reason to write more songs for you and share with people. And it is really something that's very passionate for me. I'm very passionate about. And I'm glad to have Cowboy in. I'm glad to have the stories. I'm loving how you guys came together. I'm loving the evening. And I'm sad that we're going to have one last song, but I want to hear it.
Okay.
I want to.
How about some claps
Thank
for
you,
Adam,
Adam.
Kat, and Brian for doing
Thank you. You know what?
Kat, can you hear us over in Studio B all the way down there? Oh, right on.
Hear you loud and clear. It's sounding great, guys.
Thank you, Kat. It's a long ride from here to the canyon. Would you like some company? I know it gets lonely driving this cattle, but you've always got a friend in me. Later on, past the sunset, maybe we could have a few drinks. It's been some days since we've been together, and I've been missing the way you kiss me. Oh, it's a long day for a cowboy. I know you get tired in your saddle, but I love the way you drive our cattle, and I know you do it all for me. Later on, past the sunset, maybe we could have a few drinks. It's been some days since we've been together, and I've been missing the way you kiss me. Come on, cowboy, hang your hat. It's been a long day, and you know that, but I've got supper ready for you, and maybe a few kisses too. Oh, maybe a few kisses too.
Beautiful. I felt that, Kennedy.
you.
I honestly, I felt that. That was beautiful. That really was. You know, as we come to an end of the show, I always really struggle with this part, and as much time and preparation and effort that I put into this, I just never quite get to the very end of it. It sounds like there's a boogie happening. Is there a boogie happening? No, yeah, give me some background music, guys. Yeah. All right, yeah. Yeah. As we come to the end of the show. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, we are coming to the end of the show. I love these guys. Look, I'm feeling it. And you know what? I didn't talk to the back of the house, the production side, Studio B, Kat and Brian about this. But what I'm going to do, because I've had like a ton of requests. Jake, you know what I'm talking about if you're out there. I'm going to turn the camera around as we end the show, and we're just going to kind of see how it goes with the backslapping and the hallelujahs and the high fives and the giddy ups and the yeehaws, and you know, let everybody kind of hang out with us for a minute as we break down and go, holy cow, that was an awesome show. Cowboy, thank you very much for being here. I'm like honored. I can't wait for the album to come out, and when it does, if I'm not one of the first calls, because you know, I will be totally like, you know, heartbroken if you're not calling me up going, hey man, you know, let's get on that show. We got to debut this album. Everybody out there, this has been the Wayback Sessions. Thank you very much for watching. Keep an eye out next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. We're going to be having Stephen Meckel out here, and it will definitely be different. All right, thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Adam. Cat Brian.
Right on. Right on. Right on. All right.
All right.
Woo.
I'm not supposed to end the stream?
No, let it go.
Thank
Let's
you.
see what happens.
Good? Probably meet the
PC.
mics.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know, we'll let them all
That
get
was
this out.
awesome.
They'll see my
Holy
back, you know.
shit.
Hey,
That's great, dude.
nobody even saw that I have my pocket watch tonight, but I
It looks so good.
Yeah,
I
that's a
had
good
to put it
pocket
on
watch.
for effect, you know?
Absolutely.
Kat was like, you know, nobody's going to see you from below, so you could wear shorts or something. I said, no, you know.
Or boxers.
If I'm,
Yeah.
well, I could, but I'm like, I don't feel
The
all
boxer
put
session.
together unless I've got my, you know, my chords, and I'm like, I just want to be part of the band. That's all.
No, you look
I
great.
always want to be part of the band.
You want to
So-
play Trudy Lopez is what you want to do.
Dude, well, you know what I really want to do is I'd
direct.
no, wait, that's what you're doing. I'd love to play that thing. I just can't. And so we actually talked when he was here last time and busted out with Sarah Robinson. I'm like, dude, you need to come over and give me some lessons because I need to learn how to use that.
Beautiful.
Everybody's saying great show, loving the show.
Thank you.
Great idea. Let us linger.
We're out of time.
Skinner,
Yes.
Free bird.
free bird.
Ultimately, at some point, I will play on the show with my band, and you know what? Yodel, sit in, PCO, we'll have to.
And you'll be there.
It'll be a
You'll be
great
there.
time, and you'll be
It's gonna
there.
like, you'll all be there.
Shit, I've sitting with you like a dozen times.
Sue.
Yeah, no,
Versions of
we've
bands.
done so much, man. I mean, it's really.
Hey, by the way,
yeah.
everybody, you sang beautifully,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
Your key was spot on. Your fucking.
That last one, I was starting to feel the
Oh,
James
dude.
out.
Look, come over here, come over here.
Good.
We didn't even
Your
get to
voice
talk.
sounded so pretty.
Look, I'm all
It was
plugged
like that
in.
rehearsal last night. Your voice really has
I'm
come a
all
long
tethered
way in
and-
fucking
Thank
a
you
week
so
or
much.
I've been
whatever.
practicing.
I know.
Like I want to stand over here in case that we're in front of the camera because I don't even know. I don't know if anyone can hear us or see us. I don't even know.
they can hear us.
Dude,
Everybody
Dude.
else
that was fun, man.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Dude, like, well, one, like, you know, Pete called me up and he was like, hey, yeah, like, we're doing this thing.
It wasn't as
And,
scary.
you know, and it's gonna be cool.
This thing,
We'll do
yeah.
it.
really well,
Don't
man.
worry,
It
it'll
was
be
like,
cool.
well,
Thank you.
so we have this running
Like I
joke
said,
that, like,
We'll always
all the time,
be
he always
more
hits me up and so he's
mean
like,
to you.
hey,
Oh, yeah.
can you show up
If you deserve it.
tomorrow
No, but you
and
guys
bring your
That's
drum
what
set
I'm all the
and play
time.
this
Right,
gig
right.
and let all the other bands use your drum set
Of course.
and for no money and do this.
Yeah,
And
just-
I'm always like, yeah,
Thank
cool.
you, Miss Cat. Thank
I'm
you,
down,
Ryan.
Pete.
You guys
Every single time.
Thank you so much.
Look,
Oh,
how many?
I'm happy to be on this
Like,
side.
we've crossed paths
Look,
100
enjoy this
times,
cigarette.
right?
Mhm.
Like, grab my
Absolutely.
phone.
We're not interviewing. I don't even know if anyone can hear us. I really don't know. So I'm just hanging out.
Yeah.
Dude, that was like Brian. What did you think
Oh,
of the drums? Were you able to work with that?
There was so much space in there.
I know. I know.
was
Like,
awesome.
look, they kept telling us, it was like, look.
Can you
know,
hear
Ryan's
me?
like, hey man, I'll come in and I'll sound check it and we'll do
Oh,
it. It's
hi,
like,
honey.
dude.
Did you just watch?
Like
Was
a
it
drummer is gonna do his thing and you can't emulate that. And Brian's like, no man, we just finally was like, look, we're running out of time. We gotta get it set. And Ryan sits down and I went, are you serious? Like, you know, I mean, it's because we've had, you know, well,
Well, you had Stan.
yeah. Well, Stan, yeah. Look, you're not going anywhere right away. Your drink isn't done. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, we had Stan, and then we had James, and it's like, you know, we're dealing with rock and roll. It's like, okay, what are we doing? And our drummer, you know, Brian and I, he's got just a very sensitive, light, something we're very just tuned into. And so, yeah, that was like, oh, you were all right. I didn't know that was true. I didn't know that was true.
What? Oh,
That it would be, yeah.
It was all nice and soft. It's like, because this room is so small
Oh, absolutely.
that like, you know, I mean, Stan's a fantastic drummer, but he's a very loud drummer.
Yes.
And one of my other bands, I play with a very loud drummer too.
Sure.
And loud drummers in this small little room, just every microphone absorbs cymbals.
Absolutely.
And so it's like,
I've gotten so many compliments on my cymbals alone from a lot of sound guys just because like well, I'm not usually doing big stadium shows. If I was doing that, I would use bright, you know, shiny, you know, cymbals. I personally like just darker cymbals to start with. So, you know, that's what I usually use on a regular basis. And so I go and play these shows and they're like, oh my god, this is awesome. Like, I don't have to turn
Did you
down.
do anything
or
to the drum kit?
No.
Nothing. You didn't even adjust the hi-hat. You
No.
just sat down and you said, I own this.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was pretty close, you know.
Okay,
so
cool.
but
Look,
that's the thing. Like, you just
Jared's
have to
gonna
play
really
on
appreciate
whatever.
that. Because our drummer, he always comes in, he's super kind and says,
Like, oh man, you messed up on my shit.
no, he never, he's always like, look,
if you have to come in and sit behind a kid, you've got to move it and adjust it, and it's no issue. But for him to come in and be like, well, yep, no, that's the way I left it last week. Okay.
Yeah. He's like, could somebody like take notes when they're moving stuff and retuning?
He was like,
drums
can you
and-
just shoot video of what they're doing so I can come in and know what to do? And
He's
this
like,
time
"Well,
it'll...
sit back here and like everything's weird."
No, that was dude.
Hey,
Man.
that was a pleasure, man.
Thank you
That was
very
super,
much
super
for being
fun.
in here.
Dude, it was awesome. And
Does it sound good?
They're great. Well, yeah, no, it sounded
Okay.
great. It was like I said, there was the delay, which kind of was throwing me
I
off a
don't
little bit with the
understand
drums,
what we're
but
dealing with. We'll figure that out.
It's
It's
just
studio gear, right? Just
yeah. There, you know, it's that's the hard part with a lot of it is just get that there's a natural delay.
Yeah.
And that is the hard part.
What we do
For a
is,
drummer, it is.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
end it,
we'll find a couple of tunes that usually I
Click
just
end
pick a
screen?
couple of tunes that are my favorites.
Yeah.
And then Brian will sit down and he'll remix and master them.
Mm-hmm.